when you get to my late high school career, like, oh, what should I do with my life? Oh, I'll make movies.
So I really didn't decide to do this until like just 3 years ago.
I don't know too much about lighting or cinematography. I'm all post-production. I'm here to Sac State right now, not as much for the grades or the degree, but really to pick up as much as I can.
Filmmaking is the one true passion that I've found in my life. I love movies. That's the only thing I see myself doing. I just love movies. I love the final product, and I love the work that it takes to get there. It's almost a modern day literature.
It's something I've always been interested in. Used to watch a lot of movies as a kid, you know. Parents kept me inside away from dangers of society or something when I was little, so they just turned the TV on and like, hey, it's Bruce Willis, I let him entertain you.
I love every part of the process, and I know like what my strong points are and my weaknesses.
I've been wanting to do it since I was like in 8th grade. Like that's when I first made my first documentary. It was when I was in 8th grade on like analog editing, and just from then like I just fell in love with it.
For me, it's been a passion since I know myself as a person. I love motion pictures and I like to tell stories.
I've been a big fan of certain directors like the Coen brothers, and they give me a lot of inspiration to try to make my own movies. It's just the only thing I could really see myself doing for the rest of my life, you know, so.
Messing with the cameras, the lighting, just, you know, being in that rushed, oh, how we can get all this stuff done in limited time atmosphere. It's fun.
I think about film all the time, different stories or different angles or scenes or whatever, something that I want to put into my next film.
I want to make films because I want to show people whatever is in my head at the moment or has been in my head over time.
Being able to do something that can invoke emotions from people, you know, it's an amazing thing to do if you can accomplish those things.
I love films, escaping into a different world and telling stories.
Just to create, be creative. Been creative all my life, and it's one medium that I would like to pursue in the future. Stories of life and the world we live in.
I was the type of kid who always had movie dreams. I really have dreams about movies, you know, like that haven't been thought of before. So, you know, just to bring those movies to life is something that I want to do.
I want to make a film that focuses a little bit more on the weekend warrior. I'm working on a 5-minute reel of different rock climbing footage as a preview to a film I'm trying to make about rock climbing and where the sport is going. You know, an hour-long feature documentary to submit into the film festival, try to get exposure.
I really want to like make a project that's different than what most people expect.
That's why I'm excited about this class actually, because we get to put so much time and energy into one video, one film, whereas other classes it was like you had to get them done in like a month.
It's like we get to sort of be our own teachers in a way and just take everything we've learned so far and put it into this. I think it's really cool.
Too often young filmmakers get this feeling where they have to do something really extravagant. It's a little bit of a simple project, but I was really just wanting to do something that would be fun and humorous.
Our goals for this project are to just try to get some good interviews.
I just want to produce a real polished look for our project to make it look real nice.
I'd like to show some people what capoeira is, which is part of my culture.
Observe and learn how to work in a crew, and learn how to work with people in this kind of atmosphere.
Goals I want to learn.
Learn something that I don't know. So that's my goal.
Put something that is creative on screen, and it's my first time working with a big group on a film, and I'm just excited about learning what everybody has to offer. And
this is pretty much my first film, so I'm excited about it. You know, I'm glad that I'm taking this class, you know, just to give me that experience as a director, you know, but it's just way too much out there that I need to still learn. Personally, this is something to have in my back pocket. You know, I'm getting ready to graduate, and you know, when it's time to go look for jobs and everything, it's something to have concrete that, you know, that I can have something to show.
And honestly, we are all striving for that, but I don't know if people are really going to use this as a calling card. Are they really going to give it to someone? I don't think so.
If I have a degree in filmmaking, that doesn't really mean much to certain people. It means, well, you studied something. Well, let's see what you can really do.
what people really want to see is ability. And so I don't think this will see the light of day beyond our own classrooms.
I want to be an outdoor videographer. I want to film travel documentaries. I want to try to keep the learning process alive.
Always be prepared, have a shooting schedule, and maybe pay your actors something. They might show up the next time.
Plan and plan and plan and plan.
No matter what you are, crew, editor, director, cinematographer, you have to think about it from beginning to end.
I will tell you that I believe that the script is far and away the most important aspect of a film.
You have to think about the script, and before you're shooting, during you're shooting, the actors, and then post-production. It's like you just have to think and consider every single detail the whole way.
It's a lot of time put in to plan out and make sure you're organized and have everything set up so when you go to shoot, it's efficient.
You know, I took about 2 weeks to kind of gather a crew of friends and fellow photographers and editors that I know, climbers working together to pull off a pretty cool film.
It's challenging because you need to have the right equipment, you have to have a lot of time to work on your stories and then go and film them and get people to interview.
There's a lot of technicality to it that if you just don't live up to it, it will bring your film down.
I was kind of brought in to be the extra hands and the help. And I don't mind doing that. I don't mind being the production assistant who just kind of gets told what to do. And you have less responsibility or authority over things. So if something goes wrong, it's not really your fault.
Every frame of the film is very important. You have to put all your effort into every single shot that gets displayed.
Putting everything together here in the studio.
Doing good. We've been working hard on it.
I think there's still a lot that we can do to make it better.
Putting shots together in different sequences and seeing how they turn out, and I'm kind of an organizer at heart, so.
Nothing I've ever done or worked on makes time go quicker than when you're in the zone while you're editing.
The editing process is really long, but there's just so many different ways that you can tell a story, and even with the same material, like 2 different editors can take that and edit it to something completely different than the other person. You look at footage like over and over and over again until you're sick of it. You finally like see the pattern that you want.
That's the biggest part I think about filmmaking is working with other people.
It's really hard to get everybody on the same page and everybody to meet at the same time because we all have jobs and we all have school.
If it was easy, everybody would have like great films out, right?
Very time consuming.
It's highly competitive.
Sometimes you get to do the fun stuff, you get to do the sound editing, you get to do the camera work, you get to work with all the neat devices. Other times it's hard because you have to stand around for an hour trying to get a specific shot correctly, and then you look at the shot and you realize, okay, but what's wrong with that shot? That can work. Then somebody else points out that the shot doesn't work.
It's just about finding your rhythm and finding your pace and being able to communicate really well with the people that you're working with.
It's long, it's tiresome, but it's fun. It's creative, which keeps it interesting, but it's long hours, it's hard hours. It takes up all of your free time, but I mean, if you don't love that, then I guess you're in the wrong field.
Yeah, I think it's worth it, you know, especially when you make a good freaking film, you know?
It's definitely fun. I love doing it.
There's a lot of work that goes involved, but if you can stay organized and keep your film moving along, it's a really fun and creative process.
It's a fun industry to be in because everything's always improving. The outcome is really worth it.
When people really love something, a passion, which for me and many other people is filmmaking, the hard work doesn't matter. In fact, you look forward to the hard work.
It takes a lot of time, you need a lot of help, but I think it's a worthwhile process.
Yeah, we spent so many hours shooting and editing and planning and everything that when you see, the final project, you know that it's all been worth it, all the time that you spent.
It's like any art, man. You spend time and time and time on your piece, and then when it's done, it's the greatest thing.
Sit back, look at what you accomplished, and start thinking about the next project and what you can do better that maybe you didn't do in your last one. Just go out there and shoot. If you want to do filmmaking, if you find a love for it, rent a camera, borrow it from someone, just get out there and do it. Write a small script, get some friends together, go out and just do it. Just shoot. Rebel with a camera.